Want to know how this ruthless software engineer got 44 interviews out of 90 applications, interviews or offers from companies like these absolute units? Well, buckle up, buttercup, because today I'm going to spill all the tea on my 2025 job search journey, including these 5 tips that made recruiters slide into my DMs like it was a dating app. And before we dive into this epic journey, smash the like button if you ever rage apply to 20 jobs at 2 a.m. Alright, quick background check, and not the kind that HR does on you. Back in 2021, I graduated with a CS and data science double major and a math minor. I went to work for a fan and then a trading company. So when I started my application in 2025, I had 3 years of experience. Basically, I was the kind of person who peaked in college, but in the corporate world, not so much. Fast forward in early 2025, I decided it was time for a change. Spoiler, it got wild. Now, I'm gonna walk you through my timeline first and then hit you with this absolutely gorgeous Sankey chart that took me way too long to make. But first, why early 2025? 2 words, bonus money, March bonus. I'm not leaving money on the table. So 2024, in February, I was like, time to dust off LeetCode. I spent the next 6 months doing 1 LeetCode problem a day. 1. Some of you overachievers are probably thinking, only 1? Listen, I got a job and a social life. Okay, I had a job. But here's the thing. I had this system. I organized every problem using a hierarchical structure that allows my brain to go from seeing the keywords in the question straight to knowing which algorithms to use. It was like having a cheat sheet for coding interviews. If you want me to break down my system or show you my pre-interview cheat sheet, drop a comment. Seriously, I put way too much effort into this system not to share it. And now, tip number 1, and this one is a game changer. Participate in LeetCode contests and do mock interviews. Look, I know contests sound crazy and scary. Trust me, getting demolished by a 14-year-old from Singapore hits different. But here's the magic. Contests simulate that high-pressure, timed environment where your brain decides to forget how to spell separate. Plus, it's gamified. Who doesn't love fake internet points? Mock interviews are equally crucial. You need to practice talking while coding because stammering through your solution while talking is surprisingly cringy. Trust me on that one. And after LeetCode, next up is system design. Oh boy, how do I even start this rabbit hole? Here's where I learned the hard way that you can't study everything. There's literally an infinite amount of content out there. I was going down the YouTube rabbit hole at 3 a.m. watching videos about distributed cache, like it was Netflix. Brings me to tip number 2. You need to know how to pick your battles. Follow the 20-80 rule, people. Focus on what gets asked 80% of the time. Don't spend 3 weeks mastering object-oriented design when you could learn load balancing basics. Don't go too deep in dynamic programming. Yes, I said it. Fight me in the comments. Then came the fun part. Reviewing concepts that trading companies love to ask about. Think of probability, statistics, brain teasers that make you question your life choices. But here is where the story gets real. I was studying non-stop, like unhealthily obsessed. And guess what happened? I got sick 30 minutes into New Year's Day. 30 minutes. So here comes tip number 3. Maybe the most important one. Take small breaks. Your brain needs rest. Your body needs rest. And your family needs to remember what you look like. Take breaks between study topics and before interview stages. Don't burn out like your boy here did. Alright, now for the moment you've been waiting for. The Sankey chart. Look at this beauty. 90 applications, people. I used Simplify to save time because nobody got time to manually fill out all those applications on Workday. I put up a binary matrix to get all these exact numbers so you can trust me. Now, here's where it gets spicy. My 1-year non-compete scared so many finance companies. It was like having a relationship baggage but for your career. Or you can't work for anyone else in the trading industry for a year. Next. Putting aside that, here's tip number 4. Build your network effectively. I don't mean sliding into people's LinkedIn DMs with, hey, can you refer me? That's not networking, that's begging with actual steps. Real networking is building actual relationships before you need them. So for students, join clubs, meet upper class people who will graduate before you. Be friends with TAs. These people will remember you when they're at Google making hiring decisions. So shout out to Sabina for the crucial referral and Sankey for the genuine advice. And Han, who I am unhealthily close to, we met over Piazza. Sometimes the best connections happen over curves, people. Now for experienced devs, especially those in finance, learn which headhunters actually suit you. They pretty much all represent the same companies, but some will actually fight for you, while others just spray and pray your resume everywhere. Sub if you want to hear how I got burned really badly from it. It's a whole other story. And I got a ridiculous response rate because my resume represents my experience in a way that makes recruiters' lives easy, like stupid easy. I literally made their job easier and they loved me for it. I'm definitely making a separate video breaking down my killer resume format. Okay, let's talk numbers. First and second rounds, 50% success rate. Some companies weren't really hiring. They were just collecting resumes like Pokemon cards. I catch them all, I guess. But here's where it gets interesting. On-sites were way easier. I passed 8 out of 9. Why? Because you get multiple chances to prove yourself, instead of one phone screen where your Wi-Fi decides to die. Oh, and speaking of on-sites, let me tell the story where my luggage got delayed by the airline right before my on-site interview. Picture this, me showing up to a finance company in yesterday's clothes like some kind of startup founder. Shout out to Isabel for dragging me to Macy's 2 hours before my on-site. Real MVP energy right there. At the end of this beautiful chaos, I had 7 offers. I went from unemployment anxiety back in senior year in college to deciding if I should interview with this crypto startup that actually hands out $1 million offers. Liquid. Wild times. Which brings me to tip number 5. Don't accept an offer too early. Hold your line like Leonidas. The moment you accept that offer, your negotiation power drops to 0. Companies will try to persuade you with exploding offers. Don't fall for that. Most deadlines are more flexible than they claim. And also, enormous appreciation to Emily for helping me seal the deal at the end and convinced me to go visit Badlands. Alright, beautiful humans, if you made it this far, you are legally obliged to hit that subscribe button. I don't make the rules, YouTube does. Seriously though, if you want me to see killer resume format or show my LeetCode organization system, let me know in the comments. I got spreadsheets, diagrams, systems that would make a project manager weep tears of joy. So drop your comments, questions below, suggest new ideas, or tell me about your own job hunt disasters. I love a good chaos story. Until next time, keep grinding, keep applying. Remember, somewhere out there, there's a recruiter who thinks that your experience matches exactly what they're looking for. You just gotta find each other.